Hello and welcome to Stories from an Ugly Childhood. I am your host, I'm the Crap Artist, and this is entry 16. And it is brought to you by Mental Gymnastics and my father's widow. So, we all know what happened to me at the hands of my father. And when he was arrested, when they came in to pick him up after I told my mom, he confessed to the arresting officer. And it is recorded that he confessed to the arresting officer. And while he was being interviewed after the arrest, he confessed again. And he confessed in front of his church. And during the court proceedings, his mother had to admit in court that she walked in, she saw, she shut the door, and she did nothing. And it's all recorded. All recorded. The evidence is there. Okay? The evidence is there. And when I was 15 years old, my father apologized to me. He apologized to me. I don't know how he found me, but I was in a youth shelter. And he came and he apologized. And I said, okay. And so, this woman is going to go to her grave calling me a liar. With all of that evidence. She even called me a liar to my face when I was 22 years old. Through a series of really, really unfortunate events, I was made homeless again. And rather than subject myself to the psychotic, unpredictable behavior of my mother by asking her for help, I went to my father. And he had just, I guess they'd been together a couple of years, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years at the time. But I asked them if I could stay with them, and they said yes. And I was there for I was in that house for about 4 months. And at no time during any of that was I alone in the same room with my father. I did not allow that to happen at all. Ever. Not ever. So, at one point, while I was there, he had gotten picked up again by the parole officer. They he went to his parole meeting, to see his parole officer or whatever, and they arrested him there because allegedly, supposedly, it was about non-compliance with Megan's Law. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Only certain types of people have to register with Megan's Law, and then everybody in the neighborhood gets notified about it. Back to jail he went. So, I'm there with Dee. That's the widow's name, is Dee. And we're having a conversation about when she and my father were young and in high school, and when he met my mother. My mom is 9 years younger than my father. She is 15 years older than me. D is, I believe D is a year older than my father. I believe. So we're sitting in the living room and she's trying to spin this whole narrative that they were high school sweethearts. But the reality of it was more like she was the moped. You know what I mean? I've been the moped. I'm not making fun of her. I'm kind of sympathizing with her. I've been the moped. The moped is somebody that's fun to ride, but you don't want anybody to see you on it. My father is the type of man that, oh baby, it don't matter what you look like, you good to me, you know, but it does matter what you look like, and he's going to use that against you later. He's going to make you feel like he accepted you when nobody else would. And then he's going to kick the shit out of you or do something even more fucked up. That's my father. And D, head over heels in love with him. Ever since high school, head over heels in love with him. To the point where, during this conversation, she blamed my mother, who was 14 at the time, for seducing my father. And then she called me a liar and told me that my mother put me up to it to lie about Andy and so on and so forth. I didn't go to the court. I wasn't allowed to testify. So I had nothing to do with it. They convicted him without me there because he confessed. Insisted I was a liar. Insisted I was a liar. Insisted I was the one that ruined his life. Even though he had been a violent, convicted felon since they were in high school. I ruined his life. It seems like even without physical evidence, with all of that history and shit, seems like, you know, Occam's razor. The most logical thing is the truth. But still, she insists that I'm a liar. And what I want to know, really, is why? Why? Why would she subject herself to a person like my father for such a prolonged period of time? Why? He laid hands on her 14-year-old child at the time. When she was blaming my 14-year-old mother, she was doing that while her 14-year-old son was in the other room playing video games, who could barely tie his own shoes and spell his own name, and he was gifted and talented. Anyway, why would you stay with somebody like that? Why would you give yourself to somebody like that? And I've heard the argument of the godly wife and forgiveness and, you know, blah blah blah, churchy, but the underlying reality of that there is that on the weekends when I was staying with my father, he was doing horrible, evil, demonic shit to me on Saturday night, and then Sunday morning, after he put on his nice clothes, he was stuffing his little tithe envelope. and not paying child support. If all the evidence is in your fucking face, why? Why stay with that? Why subject yourself to that? And yeah, I called her a moped, and you know, I keyed in, she's not, she looks like Pat from Saturday Night Live. She kind of looks like Pat. When I was younger, she did. I don't know what she looks like now. But she looked like Pat when I was younger. A tight, nasty perm. And steadfast defend my father, even though evidence and confession and all that, defend my father. And call me a liar. Why would you do that? Why would you subject yourself to that? Why do you hate yourself so much? Why are you so lonely? Why do you hate yourself, and why are you so lonely? I mean, I've been married for 27 years. I've been with the same guy for 27 fucking years. And he's never once laid a hand on me. He hit me in the eye with a rubber band once, because we were fucking around with rubber band guns in the living room. But he totally didn't mean that. He didn't mean to hit me in the eye. At least. He was aiming, but he wasn't aiming to hit me in the face. And, you know, this man's never laid a hand on me. He's never so much. He raises his voice and we bicker. But he's never hurt me. He's never abused me. And he's never given me a reason to want to run away. And, you know, I was in 3 other serious relationships before him. And all of those, every single one of those ended the very moment that the man put his hand on me. I packed my shit, I got in my car, and I left. And that is why I have been homeless for so many times. I don't put up with it. I would rather be homeless. I'd rather be homeless than subjected to some shitty man. Some shitty man. And my father was a shitty man. No matter how much he went to church, no matter how many cars he detailed, no matter how much he fixed up that house, he was a shitty man. And she clung to him like he was made of fucking diamonds. And it wasn't even an earner. You know, he couldn't even bring in a steady paycheck. And she clung to him like he was fucking made of diamonds. No, ma'am. Why? Why? Why do they do that? Why do women do that to themselves? Stop it. Have some fucking dignity. Get in your fucking car and go. It's okay to be homeless. No, it's not. It's not. It's not okay to be homeless. But yeah, I'd rather be homeless than kicked around. To spend too much time. Ooh, I just reminded myself of my mom used to. There we go. There's my mom. So my mom used to chastise me about that. Like, oh, you never face your problems. You just run away from them. You never handle anything. You never do. Yeah, I do. Running away from danger, from violence, from evil. That is how you fix your problems. I was just doing the appropriate, logical thing, even though, you know, I started running away in single digits. And that's a thing. Why didn't she question, you know, why is his daughter running away from him when she's 5 years old? Why is she trying to escape him? What's he doing to her? Why didn't she question that? No, Bonnie's a liar. She's evil and she's a stupid whore. Meanwhile, she's the one that is vehemently defending a convicted felon, violent, criminal, monster person, and letting him around her kid, and taking him to church, and letting him teach Sunday school. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I didn't lie. I did not lie. And I feel bad for her because, and I get it kind of, because if she continues to believe that I am a liar, she doesn't have to face the fact of the kind of monster that he actually was. I get it. But that's still fucking sick. You'd rather be stupid and wrong and part of the problem than be alone. Ew. Alright. That felt really good to get out. Bye.